right, we're live. How's everybody doing tonight? So obviously we figured we'd talk about the Harbor Freight stuff a little bit tonight. Obviously because, Harbor Freight being Harbor Freight. We'll let a few more people get in here and we'll start talking about stuff. But, obviously I did the video talking about Harbor Freight and the stuff they've got coming. They just keep going harder and harder we've known they've gone after Snap-on hard in their advertising. And it's just like, they're not pulling punches anymore. I mean, after the whole Jack debacle, Garrett, did you actually get a Harbor Freight ad? I mean, it's got it in the title, so YouTube knows what's... but, good placement, I guess. And to be clear... but Icon, not Pittsburgh. Yeah, no, when I did, like the video, wasn't really talking about the old Pittsburgh stuff. A lot of that stuff is just complete junk. But yeah, that is funny. Good ad placement. So I'll little side note here. Richard, what's going on? T. Corellis, what's going on? So 716 Auto, Icon has been good to me. I have the metric wrenches and a set of Torx. I had SS Classo F2000. I had an eBay ad. Hey, at least they're appropriate ads for the demographic that would be watching my channel. Quick Wrench Tool Junkie. Hopefully it helps keep tool prices in check. I doubt that. But getting to a side story. So I was, having my second channel in the tech space. I was watching a live stream by another creator and they were talking about Google ad block. They're enforcing no ad block on YouTube. And, I don't run any sort of ad blocker on anything. If a website has a bunch of ads on it, I click off of it. YouTube, I watch the videos, I watch the ads and all that. If I wanted to get rid of them, I'd add YouTube Premium. I don't have a problem with ads. Obviously, I make money off YouTube ads, but I don't think it's right to run an ad blocker, especially on a site that is, supported by advertising only, whether it be, YouTube or somebody's selling an ad for their video or whatever on YouTube. But anyway, I got into it with a mod on that live stream and, stating that they're, basically pirating content from a creator if they're not, you pay for YouTube Premium. But anyway, the side point of that was he was talking about YouTube serving dangerous ads. And in case anybody in the audience doesn't know, your ads that are generally served to you, for the most part, are driven by your search history with Google. And he was kept complaining about dangerous ads. And I'm sitting there going, I get Home Depot ads and Hertz rental car ads. Sometimes I'll get PC ads. Sometimes I'll get car, but it's like, if you're getting dangerous ads, i.e., stuff that your kids shouldn't be watching, what are you searching for? Side note, but anyway, getting back to the topic. T. Corellis, Pittsburgh stuff is only good if you need to make a custom tool on the fly, which I have plenty of times, and my wallet didn't cry when I did. Yes. I agree with that. Harbor Freight are Harbor Freight. And, the original stuff was, I go back to the days when China, Taiwan tools were absolute garbage. Like, you couldn't even think about actually using them for anything serious. You might be able to put some furniture together, but working on cars, no. Manuel Rivera, Harbor Freight ads are going crazy on YouTube. At least once a day, I'll see one or more. They're paying for ads. That's how it works. Brian Perry, what's going on? Jedediah, I've seen Icon wrenches spread and strip fasteners working on heavy duty trucks where flank drive won't. Great opinion for new guys, but not quite up to snuff in my opinion. They're not going to be the greatest wrenches on the planet. I'm not saying they aren't, they're decent quality. They're right around the air, quality wise, they're made at the Cabo plant from what I understand, meaning they're equivalent to Capri, Tecton, etc. A lot of the stuff that's made Matco's wrenches. Let's be honest, Matco's mainline wrenches are made at the Cabo plant. So basically you're buying similar quality made at the same plant as Icon is Matco. That's only their wrenches, by the way. There's reasons to buy Snap-on wrenches. The Milwaukee stuff has been good, but for a lot of technicians, it's a good value. Easy Tech Joe, I think it's a good thing as far as them trying to be relevant to more of the professional consumers. Also think it's purposely done to make a statement against tool trucks, Snap-on, of course. Dude, personally, I think somebody at Harbor Freight has a straight up vendetta for Snap-on. I know they're the best known tool truck brand. Be stupid for them to go after like Cornwell or something like that. But they're hard going after Snap-on. Like they specifically named Snap-on in the Jack debacle with Snap-on. The problem is Snap-on didn't have a case to sit on because they were made at the exact same plant that the Snap-on jacks were, the old Lincoln plant. Anyway. Garrett Arnie, my issue with Harbor Freight is that I feel like you can get gear wrench and OTC, Lisle, etc. for cheaper than Harbor Freight and better quality. Quality, I don't know on gear wrench, socket to wrench to wrench. I can't speak to that. They're definitely getting pricey at Harbor Freight. They're definitely not a budget brand anymore as far as the Icon stuff. They're pretty pricey. So I don't disagree that, price shopping probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Gear wrench versus, Harbor Freight for sockets and ratchets and wrenches. But yeah, Space Cat, that's what I was just talking about. They're not as cheap as they used to be. The Pittsburgh stuff is still more affordable. The Icon stuff is their more premium brand, so obviously they're going to charge a premium for it. But it's just a matter of, is it worth it to you? As somebody, let's see. Jedediah, glad they're moving into the void Sears left. That's what they're filling. As you really think about it, they're filling the void that Craftsman, Sears, used to fill. Used to be able to go to the store, buy a tool, go work on a car, broke, you took it back, got a new one. And yes, I did have the problem not wearing a, if you wore a tech uniform, they wouldn't warranty it. Only once, because it was pretty far away from my house. But 716 auto Snap-on is hurting, no doubt, but the Snap-on boxes are one of a kind. Yeah, I mean, they're the Icon or whatever their premium line of boxes are still not to the level of Matco, Mac, or Snap-on premium toolboxes at all. I mean, they're just not, and they're not, but they're a decent middle ground, and that's what they're going for. Renegade, what's going on? T. Corellis, the thing about Icon wrenches, they have 3 different styles of open ends. If they're the same part number and it's a different style open end, then it's 3 different manufacturers. You saw that back in the day with Gear Wrench. There was the what they called the lobster claw wrenches that were made in China. They found a new supplier. You still could buy Taiwanese or you get Chinese, but there were different style open end parts, different manufacturers. Easy Tech Joe and KNIPEX must have done something to piss off Icon too. Oh, T. Corellis. Okay. One, I didn't know they had the flank and the Max bright light Milwaukee, so not all Icons are the same technically. Yeah, I mean, it's everybody has their lines and distinguishing things. KNIPEX is definitely going hard lately on influencer advertising, not me. The bunch of, you can always tell when somebody does a program when like 4 or 5 YouTubers all bring out the same kind of video right after or right around the same time. But anyway, Chuck Phillips, it's good PR. Well, it's good advertising. You can't afford Snap-on, buy Icon. 716 Auto, the main designer for Icon tools, used to work for Snap-on, so I would say he's out to get them. I heard one of the main people at Harbor Freight used to work for Snap-on. Makes sense. Brian Perry, what do you think would happen to warranty processes on tools made in Taiwan and China if there was a major war, a major economic crisis in those 2 countries? At least it wouldn't affect U.S. made. No, depending on the situation is the best way to put it. Taiwan being its own little company or own little country is pretty well isolated, and China, as much as they want Taiwan, they ain't going to try to snatch it. Because too much of the world relies on Taiwan. 90% of the silicon production is in Taiwan. CPU, GPU, Taiwan, cars, Taiwan. So, it'll affect, any type of war is going to affect everything, maybe a little bit, maybe a lot. But anyway, Power Stroke Jude, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Garrett, plus warranty. I'm terrible about remember to take stuff to a store to warranty Gear Wrench, Sonix. Astro is such an easy warranty to deal with. I sucked at that. Back in the day, I didn't live near a Sears. It was a 45-minute drive to go to a Sears. If I was on that part of town for other reasons, chances are I didn't have those tools with me. I think I've told the story. That's how I wound up with like 7 Craftsman raised panel ratchets, because I remember I broke mine, been limping along, so I go buy another one, and then I wound up with 7. Rich Thumb, talking to 716 Auto, how do you know the main designer worked for Snap-on? I've heard that rumor for a while. I don't know who, I don't pay attention to corporate stuff, but, I've heard that multiple times. Learning 66, what's up? Harbor Freight is much better quality than they did 10 years ago, and almost forgot about Sears. Would always go to them first when it comes to boots and Harbor Freight for consumables. Yeah, no, I mean, pull this out. I hate that anyway. I pulled the chat out and it repost the stupid welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by community standards. Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to Sears first because obviously it was across town for me. But I mean, like, if I was in that area, I'd stop by Sears. I'd stop by their checkout, look around the tool section, look around the electronic section, and but it's always cool to go to a tool store, whether it's a truck driving up or a going to a physical store. It's kind of cool being able to go to a tool store again. Mr. Strawberry Hurricane. That's an interesting name. The only reason I don't buy Snap-on anymore is because it's really expensive. I think their greed caught up to them. It has gotten really expensive. I mean, it just, every time I look at a tool and let's be honest, I have wrenches, sockets, and ratchets, and, all that kind of stuff that I bought many, many years ago. My Snap-on tools, for the most part, my sockets and all that were bought a very long time ago, 20 plus years. I've had Snap-on impact sockets. I've had, my wrenches from Snap-on, all that stuff for decades. And now you go to price this stuff out and you're like, oh my God, I did not pay that back then. And, it's not just inflation. The prices have definitely gone up. But yeah, no, it's really hard nowadays for me to find anything really interesting on the truck. When it comes down to it, I review tools for the channel, and it's like there's nothing here for me to pick up, go, this would make a good video. This might be something somebody be interested in. It's like, okay. All right, thanks. See you next week. Rude Mopar dude, howdy y'all. Been watching since the shop. I just bought the new 72-inch US General roll cart. Never had a high-end box, but I'm happy with it. Well, good for you, man. It seems like a decent box. I mean, I didn't go stand in drawers and stuff, but it seems like it'll be a pretty decent box for a number of years. Phil H, every time I get off the tool truck, I walk a little funny. Then stop buying stuff. Phil H, the new Craftsman Pro ratchet is actually really good. Project Farm reviewed it. I haven't watched the ratchet video. I've seen it. It's gotten, recommended to me. But I every video I've watched of Project Farm, there's something about his testing that I don't agree with. A perfect example of that is back when he did the RTV video, when he was comparing RTV and gluing, something from Home Depot together with RTV and then pulling it apart, and didn't understand what anaerobic sealant was because he ordered the wrong stuff from, I think it was AC Delco, but don't quote me on that. But every time I've watched one of his videos, there's stuff in it that I'm like, okay. RTV is not really rated for pull apart strength. It's a sealant. But anyway, so I haven't been well, let's just say enough to watch one of his videos. So I haven't seen that one. Scroll back up here because apparently I missed some stuff. Learning 66. I just bought an Autel MK808 for $408 on Amazon last night. They're $479 and 30 coupon off. Anybody looking for a deal? There you go. Garnet almost all of my wrenches, sockets, and are all tool truck for the warranty. Everything else I look gear wrench, Astro, Sonics, or OTC. They're easier to warranty. You Phil H, you buy any new tools, scanners, or anything? Not really. The problem for me is I haven't found anything that just I need that or that's compelling for a video. There's some stuff from Vim that came out, but that's not available to buy, and I'm not sponsored by Vim, so I can't just get it before it's out to retail. But no, I haven't really bought anything interesting to talk about. Phil Mann, is anyone counterfeiting brand name tools similar to auto parts? I believe somebody was talking about Koken being counterfeit. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure if there's money to be made and it can be made cheap in China, somebody's probably counterfeiting it. Garrett, I hate warranty when you have to mail stuff in. I have 2 broken SK sockets and 3 wrenches and 2 broken wrenches and 3 sockets for that reason. Yeah. I definitely like the way Milwaukee's doing their hand tool warranty, where it's you send an email, they may ask for pictures, and then they just send you a new one. You don't have to send it back, nothing. How I'm told it works. That's how it works. If that's not how it works, I don't have any intimate knowledge. I haven't had to warranty any tools. So, Density Deep, thinking of buying the new US General 3 series. What do you guys think? I think they're decent. They're definitely not, I wouldn't call them snap-on quality. They're probably a little below the 76 series, the Canadian-made snap-on boxes. They're probably just a little below that as far as quality, but definitely, decent toolboxes. If you like the layout, you got the money, go for it, I say. Brian Perry, I've become a fan of Koken lately. Great quality and cold forge. I love my snap-on, but the quality is very simple. I did a video not long ago talking about brands like Koken that are less known and less popularized because they're not as flashy and they're not as, wow. And honestly, nobody's going to, a lot of people don't even know what coking is. So, especially if you're not in the tool review or interested in tool reviews, you probably never heard of coking. Unless you found it somewhere on a random shelf somewhere. Easy Tech Joe, it's crazy how you were talking about how Sears was far away. Harbor Freight has 2 stores in almost every other city. That's obviously purposely done for convenience factor. When I started out a long time ago where I live, there was no mall. We had Kmart and Walmart. And the nearest mall was Cumberland Mall. And so there was no Sears here. Things are changed. We had a Sears here. It no longer exists. And we have a couple Harbor Freights near me. So, it's the way of the world. Things come and go. I mean, Luck Per Dome 5. Anybody tried the Hercules impacts and ratchets? I have not. With that many stores, Easy Tech Joe says they don't need tool trucks. No, they don't. They definitely don't need tool trucks. Rich Thom, the issue with Harbor Freight is you can't buy one socket tool, only sets. If it's lost or stolen, you can't get it. Yeah, you have to take the whole set back, which kind of sucks, but Raj, best tools, worst value. I can match Snap-on quality, but shopping around is yeah. Eric Jano sucks seeing Luber Goobers with big boxes and just wrenches, sockets, basic tools, but in 10 plus grand just in the toolbox. Nothing wrong with a shitty box, but full of tools. I have preached that for literally 7-8 years. The whole background of the character Luber Goober was talking about young technicians not going into massive debt to toolboxes. That's where the character came from. And that video was like 6 years ago, probably. Yeah, no, I've seen it way, way, way too many times. I can get that toolbox for $40 a week. Awesome. Okay, I sign here, right? And then, then they've got this massive toolbox and they've got nothing in it. I know most of my audience here probably isn't in that category, but buy tools. Go to Home Depot, get a Husky, go to Harbor Freight, get a, one of their toolboxes, go to, wherever. Don't buy the massive Snap-on, Matco, whatever toolbox. Buy tools first. The toolbox is a luxury. Tools are what's make you money. Sorry, a little rant about that, but yeah, it's something that I cannot stand. And I hate predatory tool dealers when they're trying to hawk a toolbox to a guy that doesn't have any tools. T. Corellis, I think another brand filling the void that Sears left is Tecton. Got their chrome sockets for the price and the awesome warranty process. Seems a good middle of the road brand. There's tons, you youngins don't understand how good you have it nowadays. When I first started, man, it was a wasteland of options. You had Sears. Depending on what time, how old you are, SK was either decent, utter junk, or middle of the road. That was my young years was when SK got passed around, insert vulgar joke here, between ownership, and the tool trucks. Sears was really the only decent option for most young technicians. And nowadays, you've got so many great options. Icon, Gear Wrench, Tecton, Sunex, Gray Pneumatic, all these great options that I didn't have coming into this industry. I love when it does that. Sorry, I'm scrolling back up. Garrett, even just in the last 4 years, I have a Cornwell plier set that cost me $50. Now it's $150. Don't talk about Cornwell. I've got tools that need to be warranted, and they don't do warranty over the phone. They got to go find your dealer. My dealer's out of business. But anyway, Mr. Strawberry Hurricane. I seen it in a Snap-on flyer, a new 33-piece general service set for $1,000. You buy that, you get a grilling set. $1,000 for 33 pieces. Yeah. I mean, they were never cheap, but I mean, it's and they're going. A trend I've seen with Snap-on is the massive packages, or not massive packages, but the sets they're building, where it's, like the foam insert with SAE and standard. And it's a one huge big foam, insert. So you just put it back in the foam when you're done. And, people were buying those things like crazy. And I'm like, do you need SAE? But they seem to be doing a lot of that now, where they're just like almost they push you over a certain price point so they get you into the finance program rather than the tool truck. But I don't know. I mean, it's just, conspiracy theories on my part, but it's like they keep pushing that to get you onto the finance plan is what it seems like. Phil H. CP, the tool addict, is always buying Snap-on tools. That's a single man with too much money. The guy honestly never turned a wrench in his life professionally. Okay. I don't watch his channel, so I don't know much about him. I've interacted with him in comments and stuff like that, but that's about it. But yeah, I'm not single and I'm not made of money, so I was just interacting with a creator in another industry, creator, YouTuber, but not automotive. And, he was talking about not justifying purchases for a video when it's not going to produce enough to pay back what you spent on the device to review. And I'm like, yeah, because that's one of the things I had to learn is buying, a tool that I'm going to make money with, great. Buying a tool to make a video on, the tool costs $600. I don't make anywhere near that on the video production. And if it sits in a drawer, that video cost me $500 to make. So it's really hard to justify some of those purchases nowadays. El Jefe. It seems like the quieter you are at work, the more stuff people want to know about you. Why? I've always been an introvert, at least at work. I am an introvert. I don't like people. I know it's funny because introverts actually really, a lot of introverts wind up in social media. wind up on YouTube and stuff like that. I don't know the psychological reasons for that, but for me, I'm not a social person. Put me in a corner, and I know I did that line in a video, Flat Rate Freddy, but if it was up to me, leave me alone, let me do my job. I don't need to be the center of attention or anything like that. Like at the old shop, being a shop foreman, I had to walk around, check on everybody, see what was going on, see what, problems were cropping up. But for me, I'll sit outside by myself, smoke a cigar. I'm good. So anyway, yeah, I don't know why that is. Some people are they like to, differing personalities do tend to try to pull stuff out of introverts. So they're not being ugly. They're just trying to pull you out of your shell, I guess the best way to put it. Piston Honda 87, what's up? Phil H, the shop I work at is way behind in technology. The guy has me using the snap-on roll around scope. Resolution is low on it, and it's like, yes, my boy, it's a nice machine. Owner's like 70, is like 76. I'm your age. Oh, probably an old Consular. Good scope for the day. That sucks, man. Power Stroke Jude, I saw a video showing the difference between Milwaukee legit versus Milwaukee counterfeit batteries. There's huge difference there, Power Stroke. I mean, I've, talking to the battery engineers, and keep in mind, they use Samsung cells. One of the highest manufacturers of lithium ion cells. And they kept telling me they had a 30% reject rate when they went to assemble them into a battery. So 20 to 30% of the battery, the cells for each, battery was rejected for quality at Milwaukee. And what do you think happens to those cells that they reject? They go into other counterfeits and stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, the quality on counterfeit stuff can be wildly different. That's why I've never done a video on recommending or anything like that on counterfeit, because the quality, you never know what you're going to get. And if you've seen a lithium ion battery catch on fire, you do not want to play around with that. So I recommend legit batteries. Piston Honda 97. What toolbox is that behind you? It is a Revel X. And it's just a picture. I don't have a toolbox behind me in my office. Me 5 Punk. What's going on? I'm puffing on a Plasencia 149. Very nice. I love Plasencia. I love their Alma Furtas. Alma Fuerte. That I mean, great cigars. So enjoy for sure. Garrett, that's how Gear Wrench, Sunix, and Astro and Irwin have experience with. Send them email and pictures, and they send you new ones. Irwin is nice, and they'll send you a 5-pack of drill bits. Nice. Phil H, I came over here from a Rain Man Ray video. Couldn't take it anymore. A guy struggling to diagnose a wrong VIN in a PT Cruiser. How hard is that? It's a PT Cruiser. You can rewrite the VIN with Snap-on. I mean, that's literally easy. Matt Moiter. Thoughts on Tecton Capri? Sorry, by the way, my nose is just itching for some reason. Both decent quality. I don't have much Tecton. I've got a good bit of, I've got a little bit of Capri. I've had decent luck out of the stuff I've got. So, haven't had to warranty anything. So, T Corrales, you can absolutely buy one thing at a time with Icon. There's a parts catalog. Get the number from the catalog, call the number, and it'll be in the mail. Cool. I haven't bought much from Harbor Freight. Haven't warranted anything. You know, most of my Harbor Freight purchases have been, it broke. But I haven't bought much of the Icon stuff. I've looked at it, and I've known some people that have used it. Samuel Bonarden, I just bought an Icon digital torque wrench. It's so nice. Cool. Chuck Phillips, you get affected by launch pulling software for auto auth. My Maximus 3.0 can't access SGWs. Generally, I use my Bosch for those. The launch has been a little tukey on SGW. It doesn't want to keep on Wi-Fi for some reason, so I just use my Bosch. But I haven't tried it, so I'll try to check it next time I work on one of those. Roy Anderson, 90% of what comes out of a Harbor Freight I would never buy, but I do love the other 10%. There is a lot of crap at Harbor Freight. Yes. Brian Perry, I just got the Tecton quarter-inch swivel impact swivel, quarter-inch swivel impact swivels. I think you put swivels in there a couple too many times. In metric and love them. Well, great. Aspy 19, 80% of the tool for 20% of the part equals Harbor Freight. Yes, that is a good way to put it. It's not Snap-on quality, but it gets you about 80% there. D. Harley, Mike, I retired 7 years ago after 50 years, still fixing a few cars, a lot of mowers, golf carts, four-wheelers. I promised myself not to fix anything that I needed a new tool. Harbor Freight. Phil H, I care less about what my toolbox looks like. When it's 5 o'clock, I slam it, close, go home. My toolbox is from 2000. I mean, my Revel X's are probably my last toolboxes. My Revels, they're paid off. I don't need, at this point, I need to clean stuff out of my toolboxes rather than, so, that's it for me probably. Oh, I hate when that does that. It jumps. Wow, I am way behind on chat. All right. Go there. Garrett, but boss man, give you better jobs if you buy this Revel. That was a line from that video with the debut of Luber Goober. It wasn't Revel though, it was Snap-on, but yeah. Boss man sees you with this nice new box. He gonna give you better jobs. That wasn't a tool truck voice, but Emilio G, Coke and Tools, Stalin Wheel, and Ghidorah, awesome stuff. Yes, definitely. Y'all don't understand. I love my Ghidorah wrenches. They're such a deal. They're like what? Even today, when I did that video talking about the Coke and Tools and all that, they're still like $80 for that set. It is a steal. I mean, no, you're not, putting a pipe on them. I guess you could, But I mean, they are just such a great wrench set. I would not hesitate to buy anything else from, especially Ghidorah, just after my experience. But yeah, no, they're all awesome stuff. Brian Perry, Snap-on is great for building credit after a divorce. Well, I'm sorry for your divorce, but there's lots of ways to build credit. Jerry Dopplinger, hello from Wisconsin. What part of Wisconsin? I'm from Milwaukee, originally South Milwaukee, but I lived in Franklin. I lived in West Allis. My uncle lives in New Berlin, so Charles Johnson, I got crappy box and have tools hanging on almost every section of it now. Been wrenching for 16 months. Yeah. Worry about getting tools. Don't worry about your box. Piston Honda 87. I love Ghidorah ratchets. I love ratchets with square handles. Tone makes a good ratchet too. I don't know Tone, but cool. Jerry Dopplinger, I'm looking for some long pattern wrenches. Looking at Tecton, not a Spro, but serious DIY guy. Tecton will do you fine for most work. If you find any of the wrenches, the open ends, spreading, upgrade that wrench. But I outside of the tool trucks for long pattern, there's a lot less availability. Easy Tech Joe. I have a young tech that was buying something off the Mack truck for hundreds of dollars. I quickly showed him the gear wrench version before he bought it, and he said, "Oh, cool, still bought Mack." I mean, some of it's the economy of the tool truck. If he's already got a payment on the tool truck and he buys something on the tool truck, his payment doesn't change. So in his mind, he didn't come out of pocket for it. Whereas if he bought it off of Amazon, he'd probably have to come out of pocket or pay a credit card bill, etc. So for him, it makes more sense to put it on the tool truck, even though it costs hundreds of dollars more. Didn't say it was good math, It's tool truck math, like girl math, but tool truck math. Haze it, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I forgot about that. Emilio G. Haze it is a good option, really good option. Brian Perry, I think he's talking just regular wrenches, but yeah, Mountain, Easy Red, Icon are all made at the same plant. Garrett, Snap-on, I used to buy stuff off of pretty often, but when they did all the BOGO deals, I haven't seen a BOGO deal in over a year on the Flyers. I mean, Snap-on's going hard for money. I don't know what to tell you. First time diesels. Hey, I don't like being a prick, but nah, don't be running CP into the ground. I didn't say anything about him. I haven't watched his content, and my only interaction with him is online somewhere, but I don't watch his content, so I don't know anything personal about him. So there you go. Crispy Games, I don't deal with Snap-on. Dealer says stays in his truck, and when asked why he doesn't come into the shop, he said, if they want Snap-on quality, they come out to me. That's just relying on the name alone. No, that's the Snap-on arrogance. I swear they teach that in their tool, onboarding for tool dealers. You got to be arrogant as F if you're going to be a Snap-on dealer. Uh, you know, but yeah, that is the last few dealer at the old shop was fine. He was a new dealer. My old dealer was cool. You know, two dealers before that, you know, he was an ex district manager. He was cool as F. But yeah, a lot of them get that Snap on is better than everything else, and screw you if you buy anything but Snap on. Learning 66 sucks when you have a good tool dealer as a person, but a shitty brand truck, aka Cornwell. Um, yeah, my ex Cornwell dealer said a lot of stuff about Cornwell, and I don't know how much of it's true. I don't know whether he just went out of business, but they kind of seemed like they were doing the same kind of stuff they do with Snap-on dealers, which I know Snap-on does. You know, auto shipping 4 toolboxes, maxing out their credit account so they can't buy tools until they sell toolboxes they didn't order. But anyway, yes, it does suck. Luck Prudhomme 5 will Snap-on lower their price if they start losing sales. Their tools are good, but their prices are getting ridiculous. You have to remember the tool business for Snap-on isn't their main business anymore. You know, they manufacture Challenger lifts. They own Challenger lifts. They own John Bean. They own Hoffman. They own a lot of other stuff other than the Snap-on brand. And it's just that division starts losing money. They start firing and replacing CEOs. It's not, you know, it's just a business to them. They don't care. Easy Tech Joe, as a YouTuber, I had to learn that as well. Buying tools just to review, but not turning a profit with it, not the best decision. No, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not. Is not Emilio G. Snap-on is now gouging with their ridiculous price increases. Yep. Emilio G. I agree. People do suck. Garrett, my best dealer is a Snap-on, but he's great. But he used to be the tech. He shows up with more Snap-on tools than he does Snap-on. And gray pneumatic, Koken, Milwaukee has all that on his truck. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to not be a Snap-on dealer. If anybody comes on his truck that's a Snap-on, if he has stuff that is not available through Snap-on or he didn't buy through them, that is reasons for losing your franchise, as in immediately. Brian Perry, no, they won't. That's like selling Nike shoes or Red Wing Big Boots selling their products at Walmart. They're wishful thinking. That's about it. Yeah. Wolfgang, I got a pick set from Icon with rubber handles, and I think it's a steal for $18. Cool. I haven't played with their picks, so. Crispy Games, my Mac dealer isn't any better. I went from having a dealer who cares and will tell you what to avoid and don't go into debt to having one that will sell you the moon and repo it if you miss a payment. Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is, when it comes to tool dealers, I've only bought from tool dealers that I liked. You know, I never bought strictly on brand. You know, yeah, there was stuff I bought from Snap-on because it had to be Snap-on, or like piece got lost out of a Snap-on kit and I had to replace it with Snap-on, forcing screw, etc. But I didn't care who. I cared about who was the guy taking care of me more than the brand on his truck. Jeremy Doppelinger, person has to be careful when buying Milwaukee batteries. so many fakes out there now. I had a new M18. I had to warranty lady send it in and receive a new one back. Yeah, that's the thing is if you have a actual Milwaukee battery, they're really good about warrantying it. You know, if it's fake, you just wasted money. Daryl McCoy, after all my tools were stolen, I had no choice to rebuild with cheap. Glad that Harbor Freight was born. Well, it sucks you had all your tools stolen, but yeah, I mean, I did a video a long time ago talking about that. If like, because what brought it up was anything over a certain value had to be for the shop insurance had to be disclosed. So a scan tool that was over $1,000 had to have the serial number and yada yada yada. So I had to sit there and go through and basically figure out how much I had in tools. And well, it prompted a video of what happened if I lost everything. What would I replace? Would I buy certain things over again? And you know, and it was I thought it was a good video, but yeah, I mean, when you have to rebuild and you don't have the insurance money, it changes a lot of things. Because you know, my tool collection was built up over 30 years almost. Brian Perry, they're opening lithium drilling here in the U.S. The first plant is in Arkansas. Sure, it will change the power tool industry somehow for American-made tools. Probably not. That will probably go for EV cars. The demand for lithium-ion batteries for cars is skyrocketing. Power tools is a very, very, very small market. I mean, you know, phones are a bigger, market than power tools. Heath Blair, what does the economy look like for diesel fleet mechanics? Watched economy downturn video. The thing about diesel is it's much more insulated from economic problems because it's businesses primarily, and you know, there may be less freight moving around the country, but they still got to move food, they still got to move fuel. So it's the most insulated out of, you know, the repair industries as far as, you know, ours versus automotive. You know, automotive, it's a retail business and you're dependent on people having money. Businesses either go out of business or they continue to drive trucks. So they have the money to fix the vehicles or they're not staying in business. Muley G, what happened to Eagle Grip lock pliers? No idea. Density Deep, what's your advice on asking my boss for a pay raise? Look at yourself. Make the case for your boss that you deserve a raise. You know, indicate the reasons why you deserve a raise. You know, my productivity is at 110%. You know, I'm producing more than I'm making in the shop, and you know, you're there for 45 hours, you're billing 52 hours, you know, on average or something like that. Give them reasons why they should give you a raise. You know, I'm here every day. You know, I'm here every day before before I'm supposed to be. I'm in my uniform, in my bays, ready to go to work. Give them reasons why you deserve a raise. You prove to them you deserve a raise, you're getting a raise. As simple as that, you know. And this, you know, when I get people calling me asking if they know and if I know anybody that needs a tech, people can be a little desperate. So ask for the raise. Um, geez, I am really behind. Wow. Jerry bought some Capri impact sockets for high use stuff work. They seem to wear well and get individual sizes. Cool. Learning 66, you work on the occasional EV hybrid, but no actual EVs. Uh, Sasquatch Zero chamfer combination wrenches are best. Carlisle is the best. Icon copies them. Snap-ons are antique. Same for Wright. Chamfer is stupid. Reduced contact surface. Um, Carlisle and Icon are made in the same plant, Bubba. Easy Tech Joe, the top tech in my shop, uses a Husky box. Box doesn't mean anything. Um, Garrett, talking about scan tools, I work at a GM dealer. I have a Snap-on. Is there something you would recommend for GM that is better than Snap-on? Obviously, Techline best, but Techline is problematic at best. If you got a Snap-on, there's really not going to be much out there that is going to do anything the Snap-on won't. Everything outside of that functionality, GM's really good about being very friendly to the aftermarket scan tool industry. If you look at the predominant amount of scan tools, Snap-on, Bosch, OTC, the domestic brands, they're going to have the exact same thing because GM just sells it to them at a very good price. The information, the controls, the programming, all that. So, no, there's not going to be really anything much better than the Snap-on. And if you already got it, you got it. Turbo, I really want Snap-on tools, but I've spent too much money on Harbor Freight tools and I don't feel like the quality, but they still work. Yeah, I mean, if you can't afford Snap-on, make your money, man. Don't worry about, insignificance on that. Juan Newmar, any thoughts on the 3.0 Duramax? I have never touched that engine at all, so I have no opinion on it. Emilio G, when is Harbor Freight releasing the Snap-on ball joint press copy? I don't know. I'm not sponsored by Harbor Freight. I would guess soon, but I don't know. I don't have any information on that. Better than getting the V8 or the Turbo Max. I have no idea on the 3.0. I've never touched that engine. Garrett, if he's saying he works at GM, so 3.0 Duramax is not what I would recommend. So listen to him. Turbo, I really want to work on cars, but don't have the time to learn at work because of constant work. And I come home late, I get really tired, and I want to go to school to learn. I mean, it's hard, man. Make the commitment if you really want to go to school to learn. I mean, I don't know what the details of your life are, but try to figure out a way to do it. But Sasquatch, some of y'all's names, man. Buy a multimeter, play with every electric connection around you, check resistance in every wire. Yeah, I mean, doing is a really good way to learn. Jeremy, I was born in Bayview, Wisconsin. You're really close to South Milwaukee. My sister lives there, block from the lake. Now I live in Wausau, Wisconsin. Cool. Yeah, no, it's where I grew up. Turbo, if you understand electrical, you'd be fine on cars. Yeah, they're really the big one. Robbie Santos, Harbor Freight going after any American-made tool is bad for our industry. You may hate Snap-on a price standpoint, but understand they keep your fellow Americans employed. It's a good point. The problem is Snap-on has moved a lot of stuff out of the country. But yes, they do employ Americans. I'll let y'all figure that out in the comments about the 3.0. Not even going to get in that one. Jimmy making it work. Hey, I caught a live stream. Cool. Hope you are doing well. Jimmy, I'm doing great. How you doing? Rich Thumb, honestly, in 1995, we need brand name box and tools, not anymore. Cheap tools are so good now. True. Brian Perry would buy a Ford 6.4 before I bought a 3.0 diesel. Joe Mama. Snap-on is Snap-on the best as it is what it is. Cindy, if you're pretty well equipped, the tool trucks magically disappear and your warranty just got a lot more difficult. Luckily for me, there's other people in the shop that buy stuff. But yes, I have actually seen that happen. How you doing, Cindy? Uh, da, da, da. Piston Honda. I never understood the mentality of buying Snap-on tools because they maintain their value. No, they don't. They do not. People say that. They don't. You're still getting about 50% of your return of your investment comes back to about half of what you paid on it. I don't agree with crypto, but yeah, there's much better investments than tools if you're looking to make a return. Um, a lot of stuff to talk about the 3.0s. So, uh, Sasquatch Rose. I've used Snap-on wrenches for literally 30 years. I can't say anything about chamfer because I haven't found anything. I haven't experienced what you're talking about. HVAC Sergio, apparently because you keep talking about it, I'm so far behind in the chat. I don't know where that comment came from, Sergio. Cindy, if I had to set up a trainee tech, I would probably start with Sunex master impact socket set, some Harbor Freight air tools, a screw gun with a clutch, and a Harbor Freight. Very, very, very solid way to set up a tech, Cindy. Um, all right. Okay, let's try to find where back I was. Okay. Still lots of talk about those 3.0s and chamfer on wrenches. Oh, Sasquatch, I don't leave rounded fasteners ever. If it's rounded coming off, it gets replaced. Period. If it's rounded, I can't properly torque it. Uh, Sergio is right. They're our icon. Or not icon, they're made by Cabo. Uh, Encho Chang to use a special convex lug nut for Mercedes Benz flower lug nuts, or to use 17 millimeter. The few times I've encountered them, I don't work on Mercedes. I bought the special socket. So, Poppy, what matters on the box is the drawer layout. Does it fit your needs? Yes. Density, what do you think about the new Icon scanner? It looks to be launch, so it's going to be comparable with launch, as best I can tell from the information I've seen. My my friend Peter Ditchbag, my Snap-on guy is so desperate to sell stuff, he's given away a Bushmaster 450 and the aluminum race jack if you buy a box from him. Yeah, it sounds pretty pretty desperate. Garrett, yeah, I have this Solus Edge, but I want to upgrade, but something wireless, but don't want to upgrade to a Zeus. Not worth it to me. Launch, Autel, X-Tool, ThinkCar, all those will give you the same information. The only difference is going to be, or the same controls is going to be, Garrett, is the graphing on a Snap-on. GM is really good about providing that information to the aftermarket. So pretty much anything will work for that. Kalen King, I love Harbor Freight, but I love Snap-on. I can honestly say for the warranty, the customer service, and the quality, yes, Snap-on Matco, but for the price for Harbor Freight, can't be beat. Yeah, if you've got a good dealer, I mean, their service is what you're buying from a tool truck. Uh, that's the fact of the life is if you're buying off a tool truck, you're not, yeah, you're buying a physical tool, but you're buying the service with it. Oh, GM MDI2 works. Yeah, I mean, Christopher Barone for Garrett. Yeah, you can buy your own. The problem is that he, he GM has problems with Techline actually working, so that's why he's wanting an aftermarket tool that will work. Uh, Ricky B, the Harbor Freight common tools such as wrenches and sockets have worked awesome for me. It's awesome, especially stuff I purchased from Snap-on Mac. Harbor Freight employs Americans as well. Yes, they do. The real Miller man. Uh, Lewis, no blue lights. Harbor Freight going after Snap-on. Why not? Other companies should do it too. LOL. I mean, Milwaukee sued him and won, so. Lewis blue lights. Snap-on got too greedy. Prices have definitely gone up, man. I appreciate it, Power Stroke Jude. Thanks for stopping in. Super chat was definitely not needed, but I appreciate it. Have a good one. Get back to where I was. Uh, Willie's, are you working at a shop? Yes, I'm employed. Thank you. Done videos on that. Brian Perry, have a great night. You too, man. Appreciate it. Toolbox has never fixed a damn thing. The real Miller Man, yes, no, they've never. It's a box to hold stuff. So Joe Mama, I appreciate it. Yeah, Jason, I appreciate that. I mean, the thing is like it's so easy for a young tech to get so far in deep with a tool truck, and then they're not working for, fun. They're not working for to pay their bills. They're working to pay the tool truck. Lewis, no blue lights. Tool trucks are expensive. Do we really need them? No. You can buy from the internet. Um, it's up to you whether or not you patronize them, just like any business out there. Uh, quick tool, quick wrench tool junkie. Matco's newest version of the mountain wrenches has new reverse switch. Wonder if all the new ones will be the same style or if Matco is exclusive. I don't know yet. What do you think about the 5-piece non-fuel M12 kit? It comes with a drill, ratchet that for 140 converted in Canada that is 250. I mean, it's non-fuel. Actually have, I think this is still a non-fuel. Yeah, I've got a non-fuel drill sitting next to me. That's a water cooling bit on the end of it. But it'll work. I mean, they're not as efficient, as strong as the fuel, but they're still good tools. Oh. Robbie Santos, what side of the upcoming Civil War are you going to be on, the left or the right? I'm a libertarian, man. I'm off on my own little section. Lewis, no blue lights. Coke's doing great in Atlanta. Born and raised in the Coke was born here in Atlanta. Yes, I enjoy my Coke. A cola. Yep. Jimmy's good. Do they sell beef jerky? Lewis, no blue lights. Do they sell beef jerky? Yes. Um, Sean Smith, any recommendations on decent sockets for home DIYer? Sunex, Gray Pneumatic, Milwaukee, Capri, Tecton. There's plenty of good stuff out there. Gear Wrench, Icon. Lewis, no blue lights. Mike, you're happy as a clam, really? Well, it's just Coke in here. There's nothing else in it. Charles, my cornrow dealer, has energy drinks, beef jerky, candy bars, Gatorade. Great people. Rich Thumb, only tool regret when I look at all the shop tools I had to purchase over the years. I wish I had the owners that stepped up more. Right back at you. I own a lot of shop tools. Enoch Ching, do you think it's worth it to buy the half-inch insider socket for the? um, yes, the insider ratchet is definitely worth it. If you don't have 3/8 and 1/4 inch, if you have them, it's more of a niche item or good to have kind of thing. But it's definitely, definitely, a good purchase if you get one. When will your second channel be big enough to be invited to Linus Tech Expo 1? Linus Tech Expo LTX is no more. They're not doing them. They discontinued them, and probably many, many, many years from now, be big enough to be invited to Linus for anything. But anyway, that sucks, Mike. Yes, that does suck. Lewis, no blue lights. Exactly. T. Corellis, first box was a 61-inch Husky. About a year and a half later, my diesel apprenticeship started to run out of room, bought the hutch and the riser, rode that out for a year until I bought a Snap-on box. I started with Husky. So, Husky brothers. Yes, Snap-on is a luxury. So is Matco. So is Cornwell. It's a box to hold things securely. That's all that matters. Lewis, no blue lights. Tecton, would you keep them if they sent you some tools? I would definitely use them and test them out. Whether or not I continue to use them would depend on whether or not I had something better that I used on a daily basis. But I would, if they contacted me, I would not turn them down. I think they're a good product. Robbie, yes, libertarian, the middle of the road. They do say if you stand in the middle of the road of the street, you expect to get hit by a bus. Technically, libertarian's not technically on the middle. It's more on the right kind of sort of side. Oh, wouldn't you be more likely to be hit if you pick a lane? True. Yeah, Lewis, no, chances are no Harbor Freight tool trucks coming out. Good to know, Sasquatch. I'm not in earthquake areas, so don't have to worry about toolboxes falling on me unless I do something stupid. Jay Hardy and transsexuals. What GM block to buy if I want to buy a 572 big block? I wouldn't buy a GM block. Go buy a Merlin. GIE, let's not forget that you keep an updated inventory of the tools you purchase, unlike other professional techs, are responsible to invest in their profession. Jimmy, make it work. Have a good one. Timothy Newman, I'm lucky enough to be the guy who tells the boss to buy shop equipment, just not a boost, new spring compressor. Biggie Fitz, I'm late to the party. I had an event at my son's school. Well, welcome in. In my opinion, it doesn't matter what box you buy, depending on your needs. It depends on your cleanliness and organization skill inside of your box, so you know how to find what you're looking for to be the most efficient. I'm assuming you already discussed Ellen. I don't know what that is. Oh. No, I haven't talked about clones, any clone tools, Timothy, but Harbor Freight's doing it, so yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like something going on with my camera. Is that better? Looks better on the preview. Um, Enoch, probably not for half inch. I've never requested any of the half inch ratchets from Milwaukee. I just don't see the point of it. Cool, Enoch. Lewis, no blue lights, out of time. Uh, apparently, because right now views on my video on the live stream, which is not active viewers, but people have started watching the video, is 666. So, uh, Lewis, no blue lights. Dr. Pepper gives me massive heartburn. So no. Oddly enough, gives my daughter the same heartburn. Buff kid, cost of living keep going up, and shops don't want to pay the mechanic. Friend of mine just got a raise, so there's shops out there willing to pay. Of course, there's apparently a mass exodus at his shop, so Garrett, call me old school. I like my air impacts. My little air cat has so much power compared to anything cordless. I mean, ultimately, air as far as energy efficiency is probably always going to be better than electric, but I'll take battery every day. I've given up on air, but Garrett, tell me about it. I'm interviewing next week for a new job. Well, good luck. All right. 7:30. Been on for an hour and a half. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Well, I'm glad I fixed the focus issue. Timothy Newman, I've been doing a bit of online tool shopping around. How long a half-inch extension do you want to reach through the wheel well to turn over Honda motors? You need about 3 foot. I know that from experience. Garrett, man, that sucks. He got world class, and they told me he was overpaid. Buff Kid, do you think mechanic can make more money in Canada? And not from what I've understood. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. So I appreciate everybody stopping by. Garrett, good luck with the interview. Hope everybody has a good night. Timothy, glad I could help. I don't know anything about a weighted lug nut socket. Yeah, Charles, they just have stuff in them. Nothing real merry. What's a good wheel bearing tool? The Astro kit, Buff Kid, the Astro pneumatic wheel bearing press. All right, guys, I appreciate everybody stopping by. As always, thanks for watching.